5-minute view from the Cop after the 1-1 draw at home to QPR. Back from the victory at Portsmouth, we had an unchanged side, which is a bit of a bonus, and QPR came off a good run, winning their last three. They came at us from the start, but we seemed to cope okay with what they were throwing at us. Once we'd settled down, we got back into sort of that rhythm that we saw after that Portsmouth game. We started to control the game. So it was no surprise really when we scored. It was actually a really good, fantastic header from Iorfa, but what a great cross by Bannon from some distance out, set piece. So we continued to control the game, so much so that I was actually talking to somebody near to me, and I said, this could be a decent-sized victory. It looked so comfortable at that point, and especially after what happened last week. I thought we played really well. But then, we missed a few half chances, really, I suppose you could say it was. And then went into the break. After the break, they came at us again, like they did first half, sort of first 15 minutes. They'd made 3 subs at half time, so they switched it up a little bit. And then we conceded pretty much straight afterwards, which was quite early on in the second half. It was a bit unfortunate, really, because it was a handball penalty, and Kedamatri was the one that handled it. He's not a tall player, but he was in the box when the ball came over, and their player headed it onto his arm, and he was actually facing the other way at the time, so he didn't really know anything about it, and was pretty surprised really when that were given. You could say his arm was in an unnatural position. It was sort of he put it up in the air, I think, to give himself some height to jump, but like I say, he was facing away, so he didn't see it at all. So first 15 minutes of second half, we were struggling, but then we settled back in again and got back into control. One grass cutter free kick by Bannon surprised everybody. Went flying past everybody. We had 1 or 2 players that could have just toe poked it, a slight little nick. I think that would have gone in. But ended up just going wide. We had to fetch the kids, as in Weaver and Brown. They both came off for different reasons. I think Brown had been running his socks off, so it was time to make a bit of a change. And Weaver, right at the end of the first half, he seemed to be struggling, and we wondered whether he were going to come out for the second. Well, he did come out for the second. He seemed okay, but I don't know whether he caught another knock, and so he had to go off injured, which is unfortunate. They decided to change it in any case, and Kedamatri came off. Jamal Lowe came on. Ugbo came on for Brown. I thought Lowe looked quite lively actually when he came on. Seemed pretty good, and maybe been watching the youngsters up front and seeing that's what he needed to do. Ugbo's just not got his confidence, and I don't really know where that's going to come from. We can't be relying on a cup run at this point in time, really. But he's one of the few players that we've got, so that's where we are with it. And we just carried on pushing. We looked the most likely to get anything. They had a couple of minor chances, but we had a few options. So if one team deserved it, that's going to be us. Disappointing really to have conceded, but I think at the start of the match we probably would have said, we'd take a point. Maybe not after last week. People get a bit excited, don't they? Get a win, that's it. You think that we're going to HMS piss the league, but no. So I'd say man of the match. A lot of people were saying Weaver. He was absolutely brilliant. That's not to say it's difficult, because if you give it to a defender, it's almost as if you're saying that we're on the back foot, like if a goalkeeper gets it. But no, I think we controlled a lot of that match. But any time that ball went at the back, Weaver were rock solid. So he's got a great future, I think. Potentially somewhere else if we can't keep hold of him in January, just to pay some wages, potentially. Valerie was really good again in this new, more central role. So that's obviously the two at front. loads and loads of running, lots of chasing down. Thought they did really well again, all over the pitch. Nobody really was out of place or not pulling the weight as such. I suppose one thing you could say is that today they seemed a little bit slower sometimes, slower at getting onto the opposition and a little bit slower at changing the pace and pushing on. You just can't keep it going all the time. But yeah, we did get very comfortable at times in the first and the second half, but weren't really helped by the referee, who just seemed to just be giving them lots of things, and we must have shouted handball loads of times. It was like we were playing the Harlem Globetrotters, not QPR, and obviously they got the one that mattered, that handball that led to their penalty. But anyway, next couple of matches, Midlands double. So we got Birmingham away and Coventry at home. Coventry doing really, really well. They sat up there towards the top of the table. And let's just hope that the players get paid. They're certainly earning it. Okay, till next time. Bye for now.